Impacted! We are impacted! Impacted! We're ready to get up. We want to win. Light the fire of power that make us free. We never break down. We want to win. We are impacted. The best team.
You're muted, Joe. Hello and welcome to Total Non-Stop Impacted. With me, Simply Steve, and the Joker, who currently is muted, sadly. He'll be with us soon at some point. So how's everyone doing today? Okay. Let's... Troubles already, but we're joined by, well, we've got Mir here at the moment. Yep. The Elite. Yep. Yes, good news over there. And welcome, Terence. What's good, TNI? Yep. All good. Yep. All good so far. Damn, you're starting 5 minutes early. Well, better early than late, as we say. But yeah. Better early than late, but no, like I say, I've got quite a lot to get through this week. Like I say, oh, hang on, I think he's back. I think the Joker's come from the void.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, mate.
Right, I don't know what happened there. The intro looped like twice, and I could still hear you talking, and I'm talking, and nothing's responding. So there's some massive balls up on stream out of my end.
No,
apologies, guys. Right, I guess things don't escape the void after all.
No, you're forever stuck in the void, mate.
Yeah. Okay. So I take it you've done the introduction. So
yeah, we've done the best we can.
Okay. Well, you can tell we're filling in for the Bison. So he's off in Philadelphia, I think it is, or Florida, for the next week. So he'll be back on Wednesday, possibly. Might come in and join us later, hopefully, to have a go at me for cocking out the introduction yet again. So I'm doing Sammy Callahan's work. I'm filling in for Sammy Callahan because he's getting all the intros right on his podcast, so I get all the intros wrong.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's get on to news and rumours. First of all, some really good news. Congratulations to Aidan Prince and his family on the birth of his daughter last Friday. And congratulations to Gianna Prado on receiving her college degree yesterday as well. It's amazing positive news from both ends. I've seen some of the pictures of Aidan Prince's daughter. She's gorgeous. It really is. It was really nice to see to see everything. It's just so good to see everything's good. Everything's all good there. The guest on Taylor Wilde's Wild On podcast this week was Natalia Neidhart. I did watch the clip they had of it on Impact Plus. She talked about it was only like we didn't get the full interview, so she talked about her the pressure of coming into the WWE with such a big name behind her, like the Hart and the whole Hart Foundation, and everyone having such high expectations for her.
Yeah,
it's really. I think it would be. It was interesting to just hear that short amount, the pressure that she had on her, but everybody in the WWE made it quite easy for her to just settle in. She thought she'd have so much more pressure than she actually did get. So that was interesting, and I might check the whole podcast out if I can at some point. On Joe Hendry's food.
It's always really hard, isn't it, when you've got
Yeah, well, look at Charlotte Flair's another one. She's got. I'm not her biggest fan, but to have Ric Flair name behind you, and she's done a hell of a job, carrying on his legacy and bulking up even more.
Yeah, Yeah, because you're kind of expected to just be as good as what your legacy, you're following on from, and not only that, but you've got to make your own way. You've got to try and step out of the shadows of what what's been put before you. But
Definitely.
and you're always compared to your father, mother, uncle, whoever's created that previous legacy, and it's tricky, but. For those that have done that, it's fantastic, but you've got to be given that opportunity to do it.
Yeah. And John, the guest on this week's Joe Hendry's Food Fight was Jodie Threat. They both compared how McDonald's is different between over in Canada and the US to the UK, and that is a fun interview to watch as well, guys. If you get the chance to check it out because it was good. It was good just to see Jodie Threat out of character and so just as entertaining and joking with Joe Hendry. It was a good laugh. My first day returned this week with Mahabali Shira. We got to learn about how when he started working with TNA in 2015, he came over, starting to work behind the scenes with help just setting up the ring and that, and then he got plugged by Kurt Angle to actually go into the ring, which is something I didn't know. Yeah. And Kurt Angle gave a huge introduction for him, and then everything just took off from there. And you forget how long he's actually been in the US, given that he's been such a huge. He's a huge star outside of Impact Wrestling, but he's not getting the appreciation from the fans on Impact as much. But it was nice to see.
Not only the US, but just in Impact. Like you say, he was in TNA for quite some time, and then went away. I think he went to WWE for a little bit, had a few tryouts there, and now he's come back and he's been in Impact for quite some time. So he's had a long time within this company, and people forget just how long he has been around Impact. So he's done his graft here, and like you said, not only in the ring.
Yeah, the Walking Weapon retro review this week was Moose versus Cody Rhodes from Impact Wrestling in 2017. I can vaguely remember that match. It was like after or just before Cody's rivalry with Eddie Edwards really kicked off. So it was, Moose was one of the guys to really just sort of fill in the gaps. But Moose and Cody had a hell of a rivalry too. So to look back on this match was really good to see it once again too.
Yeah, it was one of the matches that kind of started to propel Moose up into that upper echelon. Yeah,
and it showed that Cody was like better off out of WWE, or else everyone thought he would be better off out of WWE. It was like Cody, you got to see Cody be himself a bit more.
Yes,
but then Tony Khan came along, and we all know what happened then. And Impact is officially returning to the UK in from October 26th to the 28th. I know you said 29th. On Thursday, October 26th.
You're on mute again, Joe.
Am I right now?
Yeah, you're fine again.
Yeah, it mutes for like 5 or 10 seconds after every soundbite's been played. I can't see myself because I've got the script in front of me. So I'm looking at the comments and the script. And my
Sammy somewhere pressing the mute button.
Anyhow, I'll start that again. Impact is officially returning to the UK from the 26th to the 28th in October. The 26th are at the O2 Academy in Glasgow. On the 27th, at the Walker Activity Dome in Newcastle, and on the 28th, they're at the HMB Empire in Coventry. All three shows, the tickets for all three shows go on sale Friday, August the 4th, so that's this Friday, at impactwrestling.com. Ticket prices start from £35, but that's just the basic plan. The basic package. I'm not sure how much the titanium packages or any of that are, which is I'm really looking forward to this, and hopefully, if I can go, I'm going to try and go to the one in Newcastle. But that's going to be the one that I think is going to sell out the fastest as well. But it's the only one I can really get to with any ease. So I don't know if you've got any plans on what you're going to do for it, Steve.
No, like I say, for me, Coventry's the closest, and even that's a long way for me. But it's one of those where it's a case of it's been a long time coming, so you'd be a fool not to try to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, wait until the 4th, see what ticket prices come out, and then go for it. But yeah, for me, like I say, Coventry's the closest, but all three are the wrong end of the country for me, so all of them are going to be a long journey.
Yeah, it's just a shame. Just quickly get on here. Yeah, okay. Alex Shea defends the Impact World Title against.
And let us know in the chat any sort of UK based people. What ones are you going to go to?
Yeah,
are you going to go to all of them? And any US guys going to fly over for any of them?
You're gonna do the Bison and do the Grand Tour. He's gonna go to all three. Meet well along the way. Hopefully meet me at Newcastle, and hopefully meet Steve in Coventry. But touch wood or laptop and bust the laptop. Alex Shelley defends the Impact Wrestling World Title against Hiroshi. I can't pronounce his name.
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Hiroshi Tanahashi at Multiverse United on August 20th, and Deonna Purrazzo has issued an open challenge to New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom's women's wrestlers for the night as well. So we could get a triple threat between Deonna Purrazzo and two of the best from either company. So we could see Deonna Purrazzo, Mercedes Moné, if she's still signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling, which would be a huge match.
Yeah. It's a very interesting one, isn't it? Because you look at the women's roster in New Japan, and there's not too many to pick from. So you do kind of feel like it could be Mercedes Moné, because realistically, I don't see many others coming over from New Japan to kind of really challenge her.
Yeah, and she has been around Impact over the past couple of weeks to back up Trinity. Hi Simon, good to see you.
Doing, Simon?
And I think Mike Bailey's got a tag match. Mike Bailey and I can't remember who he faced at the last time.
I believe it will, Bill. I believe it could very well happen there.
Oh yeah, we're going to get a front row Bison and front row Bell. And no doubt about it. I don't know where I'll be if I'm going to be able to get there though. I think Mike Bailey's also got a tag team match at this Multiverse United 2. He's with the guy he faced versus Trey Miguel and somebody else. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think Trey's teaming with Leo Rush, isn't he?
That's it. Yeah.
And I can't think who Bailey was teaming with.
I'm pretty sure.
Of my head. But either way, I remember seeing that match and I was like, that's going to be a cracker of a match.
Yeah,
show stealer.
That was the first one announced before Alex Shelley's title match. So
yes.
it was a couple of weeks ago. So my memory isn't fantastic, as you guys can probably tell. Impact Wrestling Slammiversary has hit the highest number of pay-per-view buys since Rebellion. Sources from Wrestling Observer, have reported 44,000 people buying the event for TV pay-per-view. But of course, this is Dave Meltzer not acknowledging the numbers are most likely higher, and due to people buying it for streaming on Fight to Fight Network across other sources apart from television. And of course, the figures are obviously most likely just based in the US, not worldwide. So the numbers are a hell of a lot higher. In fact, to compare that, on July 27th, that episode of Impact Wrestling was the highest rated show of the entire year. Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics reports that Impact Wrestling on July 27th drew 153,000 viewers, which is the highest rated Impact Wrestling show since January 27th, 2022, which drew in 182,000. Links to both articles will be posted in the comment section when this podcast has finished. Other matches announced for Emergence. We have Deonna Purrazzo versus Trinity, as Deonna Purrazzo gets a rematch from the Knockouts title, but we'll be going into a bit more of that later on. We have a huge 8-man tag match between Time Machine and Josh Alexander as they face Moose, Mize, Bully Ray, and Leo Rush after events which will be happening, will be discussed later on, but we don't really need to guess. And Gisele Shaw and Savannah Evans will face MK Ultra for the Knockouts tag team titles as well. So three massive matches announced within the last week, and wow, you couldn't ask for a better way to get you to buy into Emergence just on that alone.
No, they're definitely stacking the card up, and like I say, that they're really giving you a reason to want to buy the card. And Emergence is one of those pay-per-views that feels like it delivers every single year.
Yeah, and it also pushes back Alexander versus Shelley to Bound for Glory, most likely, in Leo Rush.
Yeah. Which was one of my fears, which was one of those where like they would just give you Josh Alexander versus Alex Shelley straight away, and especially because they did Josh versus Shelley last year at Emergence, it would be like one of those where they do it again this year. But I'm kind of glad that they are holding out on it.
Yes, it's going to be interesting, and they're holding back Kushida versus Leo Rush as well. Because that would be at Bound for Glory. That will probably steal the show alongside Josh versus Alex Shelley.
Yeah, it's still a long way to hold out though, isn't it? August to October.
Yeah, but Impact Wrestling will find a way. If they're not I'm pretty sure we're going to get Josh Alexander versus Alex Shelley for Bound for Glory, or Steve Macken's going to come back at some point as well, because I know he's nearly cleared now from injury too.
Yeah, I mean, Leo Rush they could probably get away with, because you've got Chris Sabin now back in the mix, so he could probably get in there and have his rematch, etc. So they could probably get by with that with the X division. Yeah, the world title might be a stretch, because obviously, I mean, has Macklin had his rematch? Yeah, he has, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yes, he did. He did
have it. Yeah. Yeah, he did have it. Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be a case of where do they go with it? Can they stretch it out that long?
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. And hello to Barry Monkey, nice of you to join us. How's everyone in the chat now that I'm hopefully not bugging out too much as well? I don't know.
It would be nice, Norris. Again, there's still a long way, I think, from kind of those kind of numbers, but never say never in wrestling. That's what I always say. Yeah,
and the fact that people are tuning into Impact Wrestling through their online platforms means they can view it anytime, anywhere, really.
Yes.
So, and the viewers, they don't count the viewers after the show has gone live, which is
yeah. Like I say, if they counted all the viewers, and again, this would be very difficult to do, but if they counted all the viewers over a weekly period, then the numbers, probably for all the shows, would be a lot different.
Yeah. Anyhow, we go on to the recap of the week. Yuyomura pins Kenny King on BTI in their tag match. Joe Hendry and Yuyomura put on a massive clinic against Kenny King, and I've forgotten his name. Sheldon Jean. Yeah, really, really impressive tag match between the two of them. Just running through the highlights off of Impact Wrestling websites. Joe Hendry and Yuyomura crashed Kenny King's digital media celebration party and got themselves a tag team match to settle the score. Kenny King provides a distraction, allowing Gene to chop block Hendry from behind. Hendry bounces back with a cutter out of the corner before making the tag to Yuyomura. The pace quickens as he hits King with a running bulldog. Gene sends Hendry face first into the steel ring post. Yuyomura sets up for his signature crossbody, but Gene chips him up. Hendry takes out Gene out of the equation with the clothesline. Yuyomura rolls up King for the 3. That pin came out of nowhere, which was really, really, really well timed and everything too. I expected Yuyomura would get the pin, but to get a pin out of nowhere and it almost blindside behind Joe Hendry's back too, because that even Joe Hendry was surprised that Yuyomura got the pin, which was something that I noticed as soon as his hand was raised. That Joe Hendry was like, "Oh shit, he's got the win."
Yeah, there's kind of a bit to Joe Hendry where you feel like while he is this kind of like uber sort of babyface, there could be a interesting heel dynamic to him as well.
Yeah,
You know,
and as the night went on, we sort of saw it coming through a bit more too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm very intrigued with him and Yuya together because obviously Yuya's a very, very good babyface. The crowd get behind him and he's kind of that ultimate underdog. So him and Joe Hendry together could be very interesting to get that heel dynamic out of Hendry. I kind of feel bad for Kenny kind of having the first match as a champion and being pinned. But yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Okay, Impact Wrestling kicks off with Trinity and Dani Luna versus the Coven. Dani Luna making her Impact Wrestling in-ring debut. Luna takes King off of her feet with a diving back elbow. Luna catches Wild in midair for a fall-away slam. King hangs up Luna on the ropes, allowing Wild to gain control. The Coven cut off the ring and employ quick tags to begin to wear down the wear down process on Luna. King continues to assault with a series of power slams. Luna counters into a vertical suplex on King to create some much needed separation. Luna makes the tag to Trinity, who soars up with a top rope crossbody to Taylor Wilde. Trinity hits a modified Phil Nelson slam to Wilde to secure the victory. Dani Luna put on a hell of a performance in this match, took a hell of a beating for a way to showcase what you can do in your debut match. Dani Luna more than excelled in this one.
She gave me real Jordan Grace vibes in this match.
Yeah, she's so impressive, and she's deceptively strong because she is a power lifter, and you know you don't see that physique that you would expect, but she is so powerful and very impressive. Yeah,
like I say, we haven't had that powerhouse since Jordan Grace left, and like I say, she gave me that feeling of that spot that could be filled. So yeah, very, very impressed with Dani Luna in this match, and completely different to the match that she had with Jody Threat. So and again, you know, every time Trinity's in the match, you know, she kind of seems to offer something that you feel like you haven't seen. And again, the Coven as well, you know, Kylan seems to get better with every match, and you know, you always know what you're going to get with Taylor, you know, complete professional. So yeah, it's good point, Mir. That was a bit of a nasty part.
I thought it was brilliantly executed. It reminded me of the Phil Nelson that Bully Ray used to do. But he dropped them like an inverted atomic drop. So they go land on their back. But Trinity managed to drop her on her head. Which was So Taylor walks away, and after the match, Jenna Price came straight down to the ring, just said to her that I've got you in emergence, and then left. A cold, short, sharp moment. Short, sharp promo that just shows that Diana Prazo is not like playing best friends or Mrs. Nice. We're going to be nicey to each other. She's now pissed off and she's going to try and break her arm. You know, the fact that I still can't get over that Trinity's the first person to make her to tap out. I honestly did think that Jordan Grayson made her submit at some point beforehand, but no. So she's been with the company for over 3 years, and it's taken Trinity to get her to submit, which is incredible. It's like almost as long as EC3's first loss. That was like 3 or 4 years in the making, and that was from Mike Bennett. That pinfall came out of nowhere too. That was incredible.
It did,
that was just so good.
Yeah, and it's really surprising to think that, you know, it's taken that long for Deonna to tap. You know, we've seen her have pins, but you've never ever seen her tap. And again, I liked what they were doing slightly with her character. You know, she was kind of going a little babyface, but not all the way. And now she's lost the title. She's gone back to being, you know, her complete old self. It's like, no, I don't care about anyone.
And hello to Antonio Baker.
How we doing, bro?
Good to see you.
Yeah, hit that like, hit that subscribe, as Antonio says.
Yeah, I might not be doing the best job, but
Yeah.
backstage, Bully Ray, Brian Myers, and Moose confront Leo Rush after Leo Rush failed to pick a side last week when Bully Ray and Moose and Myers came out and beat down everybody in the ring. So they want some answers, and Leo Rush said to him, "Well, I'm not interested. You guys sort your own thing out." But Bully Ray and Moose and Myers, they're saying, "Well, we're not on the same page either. We just want we're here to get what we want. So we want you to just tell us you're either with us or you're against us."
Mhm.
And that whole segment was really good.
Yeah.
Leo Rush just trying to just duck out of it as much as possible, just literally stick to his word that
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with anybody else. But Bully Ray, look at the balls on that guy. Oh yeah, look at him.
The whole segment. I mean, you've got four guys here. Well, if I'm being brutally honest, maybe three who are fantastic on the mic and really know how to work each other.
Yeah.
And I kind of would have liked Leo just to say, no, sod you, I'm on my own.
Yeah.
Maybe this is kind of going to go with Leo getting one over on Bully Ray. I don't know.
Yeah, I expected him to just get up and walk, or try and walk away, and then just not pelt someone in the face.
Yeah.
But that's not his character. Though his character is he's just in it. He's really for himself.
Yeah. So I kind of hope that it is one of those where he's joined up with them, but he does have a plan to kind of get one out, because it's one of those where that's kind of how Bully Ray works. So it would be great if someone does get one over on him.
Yeah, beats him at his own game.
Yeah.
We then got a video package from Dirty Dango, and he reveals why he recruited now Alpha Bravo as his personal security in a pretty hilarious and personal shoot on Santino Marella, Scott D'Amore, and Bhupinder Gujjar. So we might be seeing, I think down the road we'll be seeing Bhupinder Gujjar take up the helm of Santino Marella and trying to get some revenge on Dirty Dango, because he's been brought into this now. But this whole segment was just hilarious, and it's great to see Johnny Bravo back. But the Dirty Dango's once again excelling at just putting everyone down, being the ultimate arsehole.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people who have said that these promos are boring, but they're flat out entertaining. They really are. I mean, it's basically saying everything that the smart mark says, but in a comedic way.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically just patronizing all the marks more than anything else.
Yeah, and again, he could go round and say this to kind of a non-wrestling fan, and they basically say, yeah, I agree with you, and then again, everything he said you could have on a t-shirt, and you could give it to someone who doesn't like wrestling, and they'd probably wear it because they agree.
Yeah.
It's one of those where, like you say, it's so funny to watch, because you don't see this kind of thing in wrestling very often.
You didn't anyway.
Not now anyway, because everything has to be so, this is great, this is great, this is great. Whereas, like I say, he's going against the curb now.
Yeah.
It's kind of that old school kind of stuff.
Yeah. In a way, sort of doing what Bret Hart's doing, and sort of and calling out all the luchadors and all the how talents dropped, going from grappling and everything, and now everyone's focused on lucha libre and things like that, rather than
if there's one thing that Johnny Bravo is great with, is character work, so he's only going to enhance this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great to see what him and Dirty Dango do down the road. We then go on to Johnny Swinger versus Zicky Dice. Loser leaves Impact. This was a very, very funny but very, very sad match. Swinger hits the finger poke of doom, but Dice tries to pull a fast one with a roll up. Swinger delivers a thumb to the eye, but Dice comes up with a low blow. Swinger goes Dice into thinking he's forfeit in the match. It's your time, Daddy. It's your time, Daddy. I'm done. It's your time. Swinger shows his true colours as he hits the clothesline to Dice and knocks him to the floor. Swinger puts his feet on the rope while he rolls up to score a pin. Of course, yeah, Johnny Bratvote as Taya Valkyrie's manager was just hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
The whole match with Swinger and yeah, what?
Yeah, no, I'm just reading that, and you know, Barry's absolutely nailed it. The story,
Yeah.
you know, you don't get much storytelling in swingers matches, but in this one, it was brilliant because
Yeah,
you know,
for all the listeners out there, the storytelling between Johnny Swinger and Zicky Dice was like Shakespeare. It had it all: comedy, drama, love, friendship, loyalty, excitement, tension, backstabbing, treachery, betrayal, and true jeopardy of a man's livelihood in balance. I laughed, I cheered, I cried in equal measures. If that's not match of the year, I'm handing in my Impact loyalty badge.
yeah. Like I say, you had moments where like they both wanted to win, they both wanted to cheat each other, then they both felt actually no, I want to help you, I want this to win cleanly, and then yeah, it like Barry says, it had it all, it really did, but yeah, like it was one of those where you just didn't know where this match. Wait, you knew because obviously you heard the news, but you didn't know how it was going to end.
Yeah, it was so sad to see Zicky Dice lose and Swinger still there celebrating because Johnny Swinger now gets his match for the world title as well.
Yeah.
Which is like the only thing he's after to begin with. So I feel, and the fact that he got the Zicky Dice to put him down to the ring, and then Zicky Dice had to walk up to come out for his own entrance.
Well, after all the surprises we've seen, like throughout the last year, could you imagine if Zicky Dice is the one who takes the next world title?
Yeah.
Oh, Bound for Glory, Johnny Swinger versus Josh Alexander.
Yeah, it'll be shorter than Lesnar versus Goldberg.
Yeah.
After pinning King earlier in the night, Yuyomura wants a title shot for the Digital Media Championship. Joe Hendry wants the opportunity, obviously, because he deserves a rematch. But progression allows the match to become a triple threat match. This is where we saw that sort of character shift in Joe Hendry. You know, it's like he wasn't overly keen on it, but he just doesn't want to piss off Yuyomura as well. You know, he was saying that let's get my title back. Get my title back first, and then. But when Yuyomura suggested that we do a three-way, and Santino said that's a good idea. I'm losing my voice, so I'm not going to try and do a Santino impersonation. And you know, Joe Hendry's ways his expression changed. It's like, shit, I didn't want that to happen. It's like plans aren't coming together. It's the opposite of Hannibal on the A-Team.
There's a lot of different ways that this could go, isn't there? Like, you know, you could have like sort of Kenny pin sort of Yuya, in which case it annoys Joe even more, or you know, you could have Kenny pin Joe, in which case it really annoys him, or you could have Yuya pin sort of Kenny, in which case, you know, it really bugs Joe and Yuya gets the belt. There's so many different ways that you could run this story. You know, they've done really well here.
I mentioned this earlier last week. Now, it's one of the things that's so great about Impact Wrestling is every title has a meaning, and you know, they create so many different storylines for each title. Each title doesn't outshine the other one, and every champion is made to feel like they are the face of the company, and. The way this storyline with Yuyomura is branching out now, that's just incredible. And you know, we could get Joe Hendry just going slightly heelish. You know, there's so many different ways to smash this triple threat's going to go with Yuyomura and Joe Hendry.
Speaking of triple threat,
how are we doing?
Bison.
Hello, boys.
How are we
How are we doing?
We're not
How's
too
the
bad.
show going?
We're
Oh, we
going
went-
good. How's everything over
Technically,
there?
Yeah.
It's doing well, man. I'm Bison in Philly, the not too far away from where the of course the legendary, absolute legendary ringside Bill lives. Not too far from here. So I just smashed a Philly cheesesteak, and
Awesome.
yeah, just thought I'd pop in and see how you boys were doing.
Not
We're
too
good.
bad. Not doing
All
too
good. Wearing the death machine. Got a wrap the
Yeah.
death machine. So
Nice.
it's all going well, yeah? What are we talking about?
bad. We just finished talking about the triple threat match next week, or this week for the digital media championship,
Okay.
and how how this has got so many different ways of changing the dynamic of the whole belt, really. And Joe Hendry was so begrudgingly willing to give this match the go-ahead for a triple threat. He was pretty pissed off that Yuyomura got into this match. You could tell.
Yeah. I agree. I think we're going to see an interesting dynamic. I have a feeling that we're going to get a Joe Hendry heel turn over the next couple of weeks. So we're going to have to wait and see how that one pulls out. Have we had a discussion about the tickets for the UK tour going on sale this Friday?
Yes.
Yes.
The starting price is about £35 for the basic package. I have no idea how much the titanium packages and that are. That's all going to be revealed on Friday. So, whether or not I can go to Newcastle or Coventry is going to be right up in the air until Friday.
Yeah. Well, Bison will be at all 3 shows, ladies and gents. So if you are in the UK, you are a TNI-UK army member, we're going to call it, a tribe member, an army member, then you can join the Bison, who will be at all 3 shows. I'll be at Glasgow, I'll be at Newcastle, and I will definitely 100% be in Coventry as well. So come and join us. I'm still just about waiting on confirmation on whether Ringside Bill's going to be joining me, which will be really cool. If so, I'm planning on putting together possibly some kind of meet for any of the guys that that are involved or that watch our show. So if you guys in the chat are coming to any of the shows, then I will be putting something out there where we might meet for pizza before the show, or maybe meet at a bar and have a beer. I don't know. I'm sure we'll figure something out to do a meet with some of you guys. I think that'd be really, really cool. So so keep your eyes peeled. Something will be happening, and I will definitely let you know. But guys, listen, you're doing a fantastic job, I'm sure, and I will have to love you and leave you. I'm heading out in my friend's car now. We're going off to go and do a bit more sightseeing, but have a fantastic show and a fantastic week without me, and I'll be back in time to see you or be back on the show next Wednesday.
Okay.
You take
See you
care.
soon. Take care.
All right, boys.
Enjoy.
Have a fantastic time, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon, mate.
Take care, guys. Take care, everyone in the chat. Love you guys. Take care.
And back into
How about that? The
void
Bison
again.
joining us. All the way
was
from the
good.
US.
Hello, Susie. And then we've got Susie joining us too.
All the guests are joining in at once.
Yeah. And where were
What's
we?
the strange light shining on Bison? I think that's called the sun. Yeah, we don't get that here in England much.
No, we've had torrential rain for the past 2.5 months. Anyhow, back onto the recap of Impact, wherever we. We got Gisele Shaw versus Masha Slamovich. This was a very, very good match, and given what happened after the last time they faced off, they had a pretty close match then. Although Masha Slamovich came out on top to go for the Knockouts World Title, But this match was absolutely brilliant between Masha Slamovich and Gisele Shaw. Let me just try and scroll up the notes because the dogs are not my computer. Here we are. Following a backstage altercation last week, Gisele Shaw has a match with one half of the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, Masha Slamovich. The early advantage goes to Slamovich following a series of headbutts. Shaw dumps her to the outside to gain control. Back in the ring, Shaw hits a diving uppercut for the count of 2. With a great sense of urgency, Shaw delivers a double foot stomp for another near fall. Slamovich connects with shock and awe, but it's still not enough to keep. That should be Shaw connects with shock and awe, not Slamovich. The website really put it wrong. Gisele Shaw hits with the shock and awe, but it's not enough to keep Slamovich down. Slamovich avoids the Daemon and then follows up with a spinning back kick. Killer Kelly neutralizes Jay Vidal at ringside, but falls victim to the numbers game as Savannah Evans attacks her. Shaw capitalizes on the distraction with Daemon to pick up the win. This match was really, really good. We got to see a lot of back and forth between Slamovich and Gisele Shaw, and given how when they first came to get together, it lasted like just over 2 minutes, and then every time they've been facing each other since, their matches have been getting better and better and better every time they face each other. And now they've got a tag team title match at Emergence. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes, and it's just setting up the rivalry for MK Ultra really well too. Well, while we wait for Havoc and Rosemary to come back, if they are coming back, because we don't know what Jessica and Courtney Rush are doing.
Yeah. No, like I say, it's nice to see both of them have a singles match again. Gisele has had a lot of tag matches recently, and both of them match up really well. You look at both of them, and like you say, they had that one match last year, which Masha won. But yeah, I'd be up for seeing more from both women, because they had a really good chemistry together.
Yeah, we got the Jake something delivers a video package hyping up his return and setting the tone, putting the whole roster on notice of why he's officially signed to Impact Wrestling. This was good. He talks about how he's come from nothing, all the discipline that was drilled into him by his dad, and how he's literally gone from bottom of the barrel to where he is now, and reminding everyone that he is out to make something. The full pun intended. He's out to be something, not someone, and he just has a much more aggressive attitude to him now. And I'm so glad that he's actually back with Impact Wrestling. Seems to be officially signed, and I can't wait to see what they do next with him.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, this was a great package. He spoke really well. Like you say, his charisma came out really well. I mean, deep down, I felt like this is what we should have got when the Deaners split up and he went solo that first time.
Yeah, I do.
This is what we should have got then. But we're getting it now, and it was fantastic. So let's see what he can do. Let's see what Impact do with him.
Yeah, we then got a bit of a teaser from Tracy Brooks about possibly coming back into the ring. She wants to get 5 minutes alone with Alicia Edwards, not as a wrestler. Just 5 minutes in the ring with Alicia, but we all know, that's
not going to happen.
Even Frankie Kazarian convinced her that just drop it and let's try and move on. But obviously, Eddie and Edwards and Alicia didn't want that to happen, so it was teasing a possible match at Emergence, possibly to see a mixed tag match. Could we get a repeat of Dave Richards and Angelina Love, this time Kazarian and Tracy Brooks coming out on top rather than Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards coming out on top? But if it's anything like the match we saw with Angelina Love and David Richards, I'm more for seeing Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards team again and kick some ass.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm all down for seeing Tracy Brooks versus Alicia Edwards back in the ring. It's been a long while since we've seen Tracy. I don't know what her in-ring conditioning is like, And again, I'm all down for a mixed tag match. You know, the last one that they had, you know, the Eddie and Davey one was fantastic. You wonder if they're going to maybe try and stretch it out for their 1000th episode.
Yeah, if they're gonna do it, they probably will do it then. But I can see Alicia Edwards and Tracy Brooks even having a 5-minute session in the ring, like Tracy once, and it just going to hell.
Yeah,
and there and then. So that
again,
it's all
again, it's
something
a risky thing to try and do on an Impact Plus event, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's it'll be one of those sort of things where, you know, they'll probably have to have a backup where, okay, they've done their 5 minutes, it'll then go into something else or whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I've no doubt Alicia Edwards is going to continue to be a thorn in Kazarian's side regardless.
Oh, without a doubt.
We then move on to the Time Machine versus Moose and Myers. This match was over pretty quickly, but there was a reason behind that. After Kushida knocks Moose off the ring with a handspring, Shelley chases Myers around the ringside, but walks right into a clothesline from Moose. Back in the ring, Moose and Myers slowly slow the pace down as they try to wear Alex Shelley down. Shelley counters into a pinning predicament on Myers to score the victory. And after the match, we then got the attack from Bully Ray on Alex Shelley and Kushida, along with Moose and Myers. Chris Sabin then makes his return, and then Leo Rush makes his decision. The ongoing assault, and then Josh Lake. Oh, I missed out Josh Alexander coming out too. Christ, my memory's all over the fucking place.
You're all right.
Oh, God.
Welcome, Kevin.
How you doing?
How we doing? Cheers for joining us today, mate.
Thank you. So we got the big beatdown for the 8-man tag match we got announced for Emergence. You know, it was great to see Leo Rush just come in. Fine, I'm going to go with you guys. Let's see what happens. But this is going to set up a huge match, and it pushes back Chris Sabin's rematch. It pushes back Kushida versus Leo Rush. So it really it benefits Leo Rush more to have this than it does everybody else. So in a way, that sort of makes more sense as to why Leo Rush is probably side with Bully Ray. It gives him a title for longer, and he doesn't have to defend it.
Yes. Yeah. Like I say, it protects. He's thinking, I've got protection now.
Yeah. And hello to
Gibster. How you doing, man?
Nice to see you.
Haven't seen you before. Have you joined us before?
We then got.
But yeah, like I say, it is kind of a it's kind of an interesting one, and obviously with Sabin coming back, like I say, I mean, again, I don't want to I would have liked for Sabin to been out longer to make it feel like the injury. Obviously, it was storyline to make it feel like the injury was worse than what it was.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously coming back this soon, you're like, okay, well, it definitely wasn't that bad, kind of thing. But you know, I'd like to have been off for maybe a couple more weeks or something. You know, but
yeah, I do know that there is a match announced at the Chicago tapings that Chris Sabin is taking on the formerly known as Kalisto from WWE.
Yes.
So I knew Chris Sabin would be back. I thought he would come back at the Chicago tapings rather than
I did as well. Yeah, I thought that would be where they would leave it, and then you know you'd see him back at the tapings in that. But yeah, for him to be back this soon, it kind of just felt like for him to have that kind of injury at Slammiversary and then be back like a couple of weeks later, it felt a bit like it was a bit overdone maybe at Slammiversary.
Yeah, but still, we got setting up a brilliant storyline for Leo Rush, a brilliant storyline for Kushida, Josh Alexander.
Yeah.
It's Chris Sabin's one of these guys that's there to work for everybody else and work with everybody else.
Oh yeah.
Well,
glad you finally caught us live. You know, appreciate you've been watching us for a while.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you ever so much.
We then move on to Mike Bailey versus Zachary Wentz with Trey Miguel. I don't know if you guys didn't see the backstage promo as to why.
You're at Saturday Takes Away, Joshua. Oh well, don't let it onto anything that happened, but I hope feel free to let us know if they were good or not.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were. and let us know if you enjoyed it. Anything you can tell us without spoilers of what went on. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Mike Bailey versus Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel. If you guys didn't know why this match came about, we got the video package on BTI where Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel are mocking the crowd after they got kicked out of the arena, and Bailey just says to me, "People take you seriously if you stop being a bunch of idiots." And then they take the piss out of Mike Bailey, so this is why this match has come around. And this was a pretty good match too. Miguel tries to trip up Bailey from the outside, allowing Wentz to capitalize with a mini stun on the ropes. Bailey bounces back with a series of kicks, following a standing shooting star press for 2. Bailey goes to the pin, but Trey Miguel puts Wentz's leg on the bottom rope. The referee was actually in eyesight from this, and so I don't know why the referee didn't try to boot him out then. I watched the match back earlier today. I saw the referee's eye line was right there, so that was a bit questionable decision from the referee to let it go on that long. But I suppose he's listening to Matthew Raywald, because Matthew Raywald on commentary. I was just.
I've given up on the referee rules now. They seem to just sometimes let people in, sometimes kill people. I was just like, the refs. I don't know even if they know what the rules are now.
Yeah, but Bailey hits the springboard moonsault to taking out Wentz on the floor. Bailey goes face for Trey Miguel, which provides enough distraction for Wentz to gain the opportunity to drive him into the hardest part of the ring. Bailey attempts a tornado kick, but Miguel once again gets involved, this time pulling Wentz to safety. As the referee ejects Miguel from ringside, Wentz blindsides Bailey with spray paint, and while the referee's back is turned, rolling up followed by the headlock DDT to pick up the win. And this was a pretty interesting match too, really fun match. We got to see Wentz's strength is incredible. For him to lift Mike Bailey off and swinging that fast into the ring.
Yeah, I don't remember him having that much sort of strength or as much strength when he was last around. So
no,
he's definitely improved on his physicality since he's been away.
He's looking in incredible shape, and
yes,
it's good to see the Rascals get once again not winning cleanly. And
well, the last time they were here, they were kind of just like that playable, let's have a bit of fun Rascals. Whereas now they are that dastardly, like,
they're taking you dastardly Rascals, but literally putting it into you fucking bastards.
Yeah, they are like let's mess around, let's be annoying Rascals, aren't they?
Yeah. And we then go on to what I'm pretty sure was the Bison's favourite match of the night: Eric Young versus Nick Aldis.
It probably was, wasn't it? Because Eric dismantled him.
Oh yeah, Eric Young competes on Impact Wrestling on Impact for the first time in 9 months. This is Impact TV, not just Impact pay-per-view. As he battles former Impact World Champion and long-time rival Nick Aldis, the early advantage goes to Eric Young, and as Aldis retreats outside of the ring for a breather, Aldis then traps Young in the ring apron, sending him into the steel ring post and then back into the ring. Aldis begins to wear Young down with a headlock. Eric Young shows signs of life with a series of running clotheslines followed by a belly-to-belly suplex. Young heads to the top rope, but Aldis trips him up and then connects with a superplex. Aldis tries his hand at some high-risk offense, but Young counters with an atomic drop. Aldis responds with a Michinoku driver for 2. Aldis then locks in the Kingsley Cloverleaf, but Young crawls up to the bottom rope to break the hold. Eric Young spikes him with the power driver to pick up the win, and we all had the Bison's cheers.
I think they were a little more than cheers.
I have no doubt too. I wish he'd come on about now. Then I could have asked him what his reaction was, because it completely slipped my mind when he came and joined us. So I'd love to know what his reaction was. But the match,
baby!
it was really good. I do.
That's what the Bison's reaction would have been, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I recommend that you guys, if you can, you do check this match out because it was really good.
Oh yeah,
good.
yeah. I say you do have two guys in there who know how to wrestle and can tell a story. You know, like as much as we go on about Aldis in the ring, he can wrestle. He knows how to tell a story in the ring.
Yeah.
And again, you've got EY in there who can do exactly the same. So yeah, it is a main event caliber match.
It was a fantastic match. Got the Bison running up the rocky steps in front of me. Oh, yeah. Bonus baby, you're making me laugh too much. After the bell, Eric Young is blindsided by Dina and Khan, and Dina is demanding Khan just choke slam after give Eric Young a choke slam after choke slam. I did about 4 before Dina adds insult to injury with the antidote DDT, and All Impact Wrestling goes off the air. I think this has also written Eric Young off of Impact for the short term as well, because he is going to be touring across the UK and elsewhere if he's not in Chicago. I know he's going to be he's like booked for the rest of the year to tour elsewhere, but I don't think he's finished with Impact Wrestling. But Nick Aldis has gone. This will write Eric Young off for a short while.
I don't know, really. I mean, it's just a case. I thought it was just a case to rehash the storyline with the.
That's what I got. My first thought was this is not going to because Eric Young did call out Dina in a post-match promo when he came back with Scott D'Amore. But seeing that Eric Young's got like tour dates and that booked for the UK, and he's booked asking about other places across America, and that makes you think that if he's not at Chicago at least or Emergence, then he's been written off for the short term. No Chicago spoilers, guys.
Yeah, no spoilers, please. But yeah, it's one of those. But I mean, I would have thought that if there were booking dates, then if you're signed to Impact, they would have come first. I can't see him returning and then not, your first set of booking dates, you can't work them. So yeah, again, if we saw that with Subculture, they had independent booking dates, and then the tapings came up and they had to cancel the independent dates because of the tapings. So I can't imagine him being written off because he's got independent dates to work. I just see this as a way to kind of rehash the storylines with what's the word? A way to rehash the storyline with Dina, because that's how he was written off.
Yeah.
Again, it's going to be interesting to see how it works, because obviously you've got Dina and Con, and then EY. So the numbers are not in EY's favour. But it's going to be an interesting one to sort of see where it goes. It was funny watching it, actually, because you read the comment sections on the Impact lot on Insiders, and so many people are commenting saying EY came back to job like this. It's like, no, this is not what you call jobbing.
No, it's not jobbing. It's storytelling. It's a big difference.
Yes, there's a difference between coming in and doing a 2 second job, and then doing a 10-minute main event match, and then getting attacked afterwards for a 2 second attack afterwards, rehashing how you were written off last time.
Yeah. Before we continue, guys, we need you to hit that subscribe button and to share, to show to share the show to help us move up the rankings. as the Bison would say, but not stutter and balls it up as much as I have. Anyhow, the main event Monday match this week was Tommy Dreamer and Darren McCarty versus Champagne Singh and Shira. This was announced for the Chicago for the tapings before Slammiversary, so we knew this match was coming. But I did watch the match too. It is quite entertaining, but it's what you'd expect from Dreamer and McCarthy. It's just a 14-minute match of bit slightly one-sided, but just basic wrestling. It was a good fun match, and to keep it on the main event and online rather than on a weekly show is probably what everyone would have preferred. The digital media exclusive match is Jack Price versus Nate Matson. I don't know if you've seen this match yet, Steve. I've not watched it yet, but
I haven't caught it yet.
But Jack Price is once again being shown on the digital media exclusives, so we're seeing what he can do outside of Impact Wrestling. I'm just hoping we can see that more inside Impact Wrestling. But it was a I'm looking. I've heard of Nate Matson, but I've never seen him before too. So I will be catching up with this match when I can. For BTI, we've got Gisele Shaw versus Heather Reckless. Trinity will be kicking off this week's Impact Wrestling. We then the other matches confirmed so far are Joe Hendry versus Yuyomura versus Kenny King for the Digital Media Championship. The Rascals versus Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham in a tag team tournament match. And Heath versus Angels after Angels' promo last week, calling out Heath and basically questioning his demeanor and his character. And is he really the true rock star? And Heath, yeah, and all that. So I thought this match would be on BTI, but to see it on the actual main show is even better for Heath and Angels. So it's good. You could get
a really good feud out of these two.
Yeah, I think we're going to see something really good. You know, Angels is back with a newfound attitude. Heath is out to put the whole roster on notice because everyone's been sleeping on him too much. So these are two guys with a lot to prove and a lot to show because they've been held down for so long.
God! You see what Barry just said? This could be hilarious. Johnny Swinger with Joe Hendry on Food Fight just turned up on Impact's YouTube. That could be gold.
That's going to be a good one. Come on, Sammy.
Yeah.
And if the dog can get off my lap, and that's just about all we have time for this week. So don't forget to tune into the TNI Impact Review Show tomorrow. Tomorrow night on YouTube and Twitch directly after Impact Wrestling is aired on Access TV, Fight Network in Canada, Impact Plus, YouTube for YouTube and YouTube Inside, and of course on DAZN in the UK. Don't forget to head over to our TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up, and of course join our Discord channel. We talk about pretty much anything Impact Wrestling related and wrestling related in general, as well as movies and other sports, etc. All the TNI shows are available for you listen on the go fans via Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, wherever it's your favorite shows. You can find the Bison at Lord Bison 45, although right at the moment he's in Philadelphia, so let the Bison be. You can find me at Joeker Simply Steve on Twitter. You can jump onto Twitter or Facebook for hashtag empty space, hashtag Into the Void, or if you want to take your taste for your sense of humor, hashtag Daily Giggle. A post with an open mind, you just might keep your sanity and hopefully not stutter as much as I have been doing today. And where can you find you, Steve?
You can find me over on the Twitter at Simply Steve 311, or you can head over to the Discord. Occasionally I pop up on there. Just those two places.
Okay, and I know Twitter, and it's just changed its name and everything today, but I'm going to still call it Twitter just to spite Elon Musk.
if you put it in the search engine, it's still Twitter. So
Anyhow, please take the time to help us move up the rankings by giving us a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and you liked what you heard or seen, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash. to never miss any of the Impact TNI UK or US team's great Impact Wrestling related content. With all that being said, I've been the Joker. He has been Simply Steve. This has been episode 144 of Impacted. Thank you guys. Take care. I'll see you next week.
We're Matson! We are Impact!